Welcome. So today I want to talk about why we wait till we're like so desperate to lose that weight or get in shape. Like we wait until that point where we're like, there's no other way, I need to do it. And it comes up with, I've had calls with nurses and they they've wanted to lose weight for a while and they've tried, but then of course nothing works because those diets don't work. But I had one come to me and she wanted it quick and fast because she had a wedding coming up in a matter of a couple months. And there was a lot of weight she wanted to lose. And I get that. Like I've done that before. I've done that so many times where, I'm wanting to lose weight and, I sort of try things, but it never works until the point where it's a do or die. I have that wedding coming up and in my head, I'm like, I can't have people see me like this. I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't, I'm worried about what they're going to think about me looking this way. And so we get on that diet and we white knuckle it and we do everything possible to lose that weight. The thing is, that never lasts very long, especially when it comes to diets, because there's no such quick, fast way of losing weight. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about this today, because I'm not perfect. I really was doing exactly the same thing, but in regards to exercise or looking after myself. So I'm Karen Shabel and I'm a weight loss coach for nurses, and I do it in a whole different way. It's about what's going on inside yourself, inside your mind, that's stopping you from getting to where you want to go. Like that's the thing. You are here and you want to be here. And if the diets were what was going to work, what's in the middle, it would have worked by now. But what you need to do is work on what is in the middle. What is stopping you? That's how you lose the weight for the last time. So let's get back to my story on I'm not perfect. And that's what I want you to know. Nobody is perfect. So the winter was here. I live in a really cold place. It was minus 40 for a while Celsius. And so we get in this like a hibernation state. And I love running, but I got, like I talked about, I think on another podcast, complacent. I was comfortable not getting out and moving. I was comfortable sitting there in my morning, taking more time for my journaling instead of that smaller portion for journaling and then getting out and running. I run on a treadmill in the winter. But I didn't do that. And the reason why we do that, why we want to lose weight or we want to exercise, but we don't do it, is because our brains are designed for, it's a motivational triad. I've talked about this lots. Our brains in that moment want to avoid pain, seek pleasure, and expend the least amount of energy possible. So in that moment, my brain's not looking at my long-term interest, my long-term goal. It's telling me in that moment, you're comfortable sitting here on the couch, just stay here. Or when it comes to, weight loss, we aren't quite comfortable with how we are, how we feel about our body or all that, but we're more comfortable with that than the thought of trying to find a way to lose this weight. And I see it when clients get on calls and I tell them, like, this isn't a quick and fast, there's work to be done. And they're like, they're wanting to lose that weight, but then their brain is going, oh, it's going to take work. I don't think I want that. So they are choosing to stay comfortable doing what they're doing, even though they don't like it, over the fact of being uncomfortable doing that work that will help them lose the weight for the last time. So for me, I kept telling myself for months, Karen, get up, get moving. You always feel better. But guess what? You know what made me get up and get moving? I hit that point where it was the more painful for me to not do it than do it. And it was because I'm going to Mexico with a friend in a few weeks. We have a place down there. I have to go there and deal with a few things. And my brain went to, I got to get back into my bathing suit again. I don't want to look like this, looking a little flabby. And now, like literally within that day, I'm up, I'm on there, and I feel better. Like, I'm like, well, why didn't I do this before? Why did I sit there for months? Yeah, I got up and walked a bit, but I always feel better. My body feels better. So I'm like begging with you, don't wait until you've hit that point where you're so uncomfortable that you are at that place where you have to do it. Like, that's what happened with me when it came to losing weight. I had a rock bottom at 42. I was physically not well at all. I was mentally hit a point where I thought of taking my own life. And in that moment, I knew I had to do something different. Like, I hit that most painful state. It was more painful to stay this way than to do something different. That's what I want you to see. I don't want you getting to that point where, you're going along, you're wanting to lose that weight, but your brain is waiting for that rock bottom moment, or that point where something's coming up where you're like, no, I got to do it now. Take the time right now, like doing something right now, small baby steps, so you won't have to wait till that rock bottom moment. Start right now. Listen to my past episodes on the basics. Like just start with basics, because then you're never going to have to hit that point. You will be on the road to making those changes, so that you're really even going to be going, wow, I didn't even realize, look how far I've gotten. Like, it's really about starting with where you're at right now. And it's a point where you just have to say, I'm going to do it. Because if you're waiting to be motivated or whatnot, you're not going to be. You are not going to be. You have to make a decision and go, I'm going to do it. And then tell yourself, this is what I'm doing. No ifs, ands, or buts. So it comes from, what you're thinking, what you choose to think, but then it's also about, you just have to do it. I talked about before, in my Facebook lives or my Instagram reels, on when I was working on my business, I was doing things same as like weight loss. We do things, but they're not really the things that are going to get us to where we want to go. And it's because also we don't believe. And on another episode, I'm going to get way more into belief, because that is so important when it comes to making any change into getting where you want to go. So stay tuned. We're going to get into that in another episode. But for now, it's about, like, I have a group program coming up. So if you are ready to make some changes right now, let me know. Shoot me a message on KarenShabel.com /contact send me a message, or, just shoot a message down below. But if you're wanting to make those changes, that is about the journey. I will not do a diet. I'm not telling you what to eat. I will show you baby steps to take that will just be implemented in your life and become so natural that that's going to be your habit, instead of grabbing that food at the end of the day after, you're just burnt right out. Like, I want you to do this, like, listen to the podcast or join my group, but I want you to do this before you hit that rock bottom moment where you burn out at work, or your weight is like you've got diabetes or anything like that. Like, I want you to start now if you can, and just work on making those changes so you never have to hit that point. One of the things that you can do is, I want you to think back, when was a time where you got on the diet or did any changes? Why was it that you did that in that moment? Why was it that you decided to make that change? What was so uncomfortable right then and there? I want you to think back. Think of that and then remind yourself of it right now. Use that. Remind yourself of how uncomfortable you were and how you had decided to try to make that change then. Use that. We have to tap into sometimes into, what was it that got us moving forward? If you're in a place right now where you just can't get to that, like what's going to motivate me? And remember, motivation is a feeling which comes from our thoughts. So if you can remember how you were thinking back then that was driving that motivation, use it now. Use it to get you moving forward. So I hope this was so helpful. I know for me, like this is what helped me lose that 100 pounds and helps my clients, and it will help you too if you choose to do it. So have an amazing day. Bye-bye.